Hey gamers, I'm centaurianmudpig. Welcome back to Ashes at Singularity Comp Stomp against normal AI. This map is Cygnus, usual things, exposed terrain, neutral defenders, victory points are off. And we'll be starting at point 1, even though we're set to random. So of course, how do we start off? We build an engineer, and we send our existing engineer down and capture all this resource node, set up the metal extractors, and with our engineer that is being built, we're gonna set up a factory. Now remember, we also want to use our quanta points to increase the cap, which I've already done, to the next logistics level. And there goes the factory. And then we'll just start spawning our brutes out. Now, based on thinking, well, what can I say? I was thinking about using Air Force, so in the next video I might go and use a Sky Hub, is it? Sky Ranger? Whatever it is, which can build some air units and see how they confer against the enemy AI. But we're back to this one, and what we're going to do, we're going to start spawning our brutes to capture the closer resource nodes. We'll send one group of brutes to each resource node which is close by, and then we'll start spawning them further afield to deal with the neutral defenders that get stronger in strength, it appears, the longer they stay in the game. So my engineer has finished capping the south. I had the build queue going there, and he's going to now capture the resource points at the top, or should I say put down the metal extractors. But my first, or should I say my second engineer, he's now supporting the build of the factory to speed everything up. And those who've watched my previous video will know, you know, this is pretty much the same as how I started, and I should be producing another engineer soon, given that I'm on a positive metal income now, that my metal extractors are pretty much finished being built on the first two nodes. So sending my brutes to each area shouldn't have too much of a problem dealing with that. In fact, I'm going to use that one. The engineer has finished the build to get up a factory, and I am now building another engineer. Good idea to make sure you've got pretty much positive income going there, or should I say you've reached almost the max cap, given that it takes a hefty amount of metal to build an engineer. But it's well worth it. You can see my units are going off and engaging the neutral defenders on these resource nodes. We've got our second factory ready to go and capture that resource node in the southeast. The first one. Just waiting for another engineer to be built. In fact, I've queued up already for the quanta generators, as I will be hitting the resource cap pretty quickly. I believe I'm going to set up another 2 factories spawning out units. So with those 2 resource nodes captured, we'll go and send our units off to the west and capture that, and then hold no further, as we've got a centaurian generator which we're not going to bother capping, given that the victory points is turned off. Otherwise we would pretty much probably go for that straight away as soon as we could. So still not positive metal income. Not quite sure what's going on with the radioactives there, why it's gone negative. Actually, I do know, it'll be the quanta generators. Just realised that's why it went negative, because I've not actually got an engineer capping any radioactives just yet. So the first strength there to the east now, and send some units over there to reinforce it. My brutes are fairly outnumbered. I've also used a hotkey to set to the factories so I can get rally points going very quickly. I find it a bit difficult to select factories for some reason. It seems to be a little bit of awkward in factory selection. So we're doing alright there, we've expanded a bit. You can see the AI is actually now expanding towards the middle route. So that's what I want to be doing, because we're going to be contesting it or battling in the middle area fairly quickly. And in the middle area you can see there's actually 2 accesses to my base and 2 accesses to his base. So we want to have a staging area which we can prevent the AI from, say, flanking us and taking one of those accesses, which it does quite well. Does to good effect, I must admit.
Not enough metal.
So we've got a bit of a metal crisis there, just pausing construction of an engineer I'm doing just to help on that. And getting more metal extractors going. This will be the last resource node I will capture in the south as well, without progressing any further. So we've almost got a good amount of units spewing out here. Now's an opportunity to get the rocket launchers going, so they can be dedicated to that manufacture process. And this one I sort of wanted to not have too many medical units, so I had a couple of brutes and a scout unit come out of that factory just to sort of slow down the production of medical units, really. Or maybe should have just got them totally spewing out. I might consider that tactical option next time. So we've captured this southern resource node, and I'm going to stick down a few smarties so we've got a good defense there against any light resistance from the AI that may encroach on us. Who knows, it could be actually a heavy resistance. And we're now taking over the middle node, sticking down a radar and some smarties there just to keep an eye out on that area. As I said, the AI does like to flank. Not worried too much on the logistics. We've built some quantum generators, we've got an income coming on, and given that units are in battle, the logistics level is dropping down. Or should I say, the amount of units available are dropping down because they're getting killed. Other than that, we've got a good production rate. Though in retrospect to have played this game already, at this point I really should be heading on to creating cruisers, as the AI will actually be creating them by now, and I'll be encountering them fairly soon. As you can see, I had a large amount of units and they've been whittled down, so I'm going to try and hotkey these factories all together. As you can see, I'm having a problem with selecting them units for some reason, even though I'm clicking on it. It's a bit funny. And we're just going to get them all to move down to this resource node. So they're still holding their own down there, even though they're just the frigates, and I've got enough now to increase to the next logistical level. We've now got a nice group here, which I was considering capping, but I decided I'll just put them halfway between the resource node and the Turian generator. This is a bit of a barrier, so that I can get an engineer there and build up another staging area or a line to hold. So we now get to the point where we want to have the, I forget what they're called, the amplifiers. So we're building the amplifiers on a couple of nodes to help increase metal income. Well, that'll take a little while. We also need to get down some of our orbitals, and especially the amplifier generator, if we actually want to make use of these amplifiers to good effect. So yeah, units, they've managed to deal with that. We'll send them off now to start capping the south, just so that we are taking away some resources from the enemy AI and they're not matching us. As you can see, as I mentioned, the AI now has his cruisers there, and I've still yet to build a cruiser. Other than that, things are pretty relaxed and quiet up here. Got a lot of production going on. Resource income is still positive. I've got enough quanta coming in so that I can hit the next logistical level. I'm not worrying about hitting the cap. You see, I can now upgrade to the next logistical level when I do so. And you can see that the AI has now started doing flanking maneuvers, so I've got them to the southeast and the southwest. So you do have to make sure you are covering both points. The AI won't stick to one single path. He will flank you whenever he thinks or she thinks she can. And I believe in this one that Haley managed to stay pretty close to me on unit strength or force strength. I need to find out what the name of that is. And I think that was solely down to me mass producing frigates, where at this point the AI is actually producing cruisers. So we've got those resource nodes almost captured. Took them away from the AI. That does open up access to gas, not gas, two radioactive resource nodes there as well. So it's always a good opportunity to take that area. To make sure you get plenty of radioactives coming in. Also sending units to take away his gas, her gas. And I'm now going to start setting up orbitals, and we definitely want a nullifier here to protect us against any orbital attacks on the AI, and ideally I should set a orbital nullifier in the middle of the map so that the AI can't use his orbitals to quickly destroy my defenders. Building some more engineers to help with construction. Also got some combat upgrades which would have been useful, but I decided to go with increasing the cap of the metal and radioactive for some reason. And totally ignored the combat upgrades, which would have actually helped a bit better at this point. given how that Haley has now got more force strength than I have. So continually sending units down that middle one. You can see that the AI has halted her progress to the east, not actually finished capping the north part. In fact, is the AI jump there and now in the Turian generator? Is that why that is flashing? Could be why. Might have just totally bypassed that metal node and is now coming in to attack me. So we are 15 minutes into the game and I finally set down some tier 2 productions to get the cruisers coming out. Really, I should have begun that production that about 10 minutes ago. That might have been more helpful. But I've also got some resource nodes here which I need to cap, and they're being wasted and could be served better to reinforce my fleet. And we can also see that the AI is sending another strike squad through that area, so I'll go and intercept that and perhaps flank them with these units just to the south that you see now. Also using 2 engineers to set up a defensive perimeter around that resource node, and we've met our objective. We took out that resource node, and I think we're going to head north to intercept those frigates once I've finished dealing with the construction from the armory. That's what it's called. So we start get some cruisers into the fight of basically one of each type. Also, don't forget, I may not mention, but yeah, you still get some anti-air defences down. You definitely want to have them at this point. I'm surprised the AI hasn't sent any planes to me to start bombing me at this moment. I believe I left it a little bit too late there towards getting that fleet to go and attack the enemy strike group, which is sitting around that resource node. But they're now on the way there to take good care of them and show the AI how warm we are. Interestingly, the AI halted its advance and decided to intercept them. If it had gone northeast, it could have caused a bit of damage there and set me back a bit, given that most of my defences are weak and the construction of units are all quite staggered. At this point, I've got to throw down a dread launch. Really pointless at this point. 2-player maps. I don't think I don't find a need for putting down dreadnoughts. If you've got enough units, you can take down the one dreadnought that the AI is going to complete, as long as you're not turtling. You can see I've got rapid fast expansion. That is how you want to do, while making sure that your access points to your base are covered safely. Quite fortunate here that the AI hasn't gone and sent a fleet just to that south, this area that in the south of the screen that you can see. Otherwise it probably could have sent a strong strength there, given that she's now almost 8,000 to my 4,000. So she's increased her strength quite significantly. I'm going to assume that's because she's now devoted to a lot more construction of cruisers, which would make my life a little bit more difficult to contend with. We can see the engineer has finished construction there. So what are we doing, Daniel? Yeah, let's get a factory down and an armory so that we can maintain that line. Nothing going on here of interest. pull my units back. What I could do with also creating some defences around there and having another stopgap. You can see that some of my units are actually engaging the neutral fleet defending that Turian generator. Most likely started engaging on once those neutral defenders got large enough that they then spotted my units. Back to this main battle on hand, plenty of units there, we seem to be holding our own. I think we shouldn't have too much difficulty taking on these cruisers from the AI. Finally using combat upgrades. I'm interested in seeing this little thing that I can see now with an income of 8, extractors 8, so I don't know how that pops up on the screen. I don't know why I didn't notice that when I was playing. This is the first time I've noticed it. Post recording, and I've only just noticed that, which tells you how much production's going on. So we've got engineers, we've got around 7.6, factories are doing around 5. Oh, and it disappears for some reason. But yeah, we're pushing the enemy back once again. I think we've got a few cruisers in there which are helping to do that. So it's always worth having cruisers in the game, making sure that we can push that enemy right back from where he came. Keep saying he, but you know what I mean, it's a she. So at this point we're looking stronger. Could perhaps start doing some raids on Haley's resource incomes, give some setbacks, as they're generally left lightly defended, just a couple of defences put up there. I'll just stuck down an orbital nullifier. Yeah, I'm just sticking them down now just to protect my assets and my fleets there. Make sure that it doesn't, the Haley doesn't come and start. Well, like I say, one orbital ability, Haley could wipe out pretty much all that fleet quite easy if I wasn't being careful and watching it enough. Sticking down, I think, some more air defences there. Or there could have been Turian generators. Not quite sure. I think I made a mistake not dealing with that in the north, noticing the construction had finished of that factory and armoury. We'll be coming back to that shortly anyway. Right, well, 23 minutes in the game, and with the help of the armory, managed to fight our way back up in force strength. Just about, by about 500 to 600. Very little in it. Yeah, so we're not in a good state there. Radioactives have gone down. So, time to start using or building amplifiers, so that we can boost the income as and when we can. As we can see, we've already had a couple of amplifiers put down earlier. Just don't have enough quanta at this point to be able... Oh, I do, yeah. Just got it, I think. So I think we've already used one ability. We've just... Did we use that one then? I don't think I used it. No, I didn't. I think I've already used them, that's why. I've just not noticed. So I've already used it on 2 amplifiers. Oh, and now you can see the enemy has sent a significant force, and he's totally bypassed that Turian generator, interestingly, and gone straight for my heart. So I'm going to be struggling there. If he breaks through there, I'm going to need to start diverting more units there. I think I should also divert the construction of all my frigates there. I'm also rushing the enemy base now to, in the hopes that I can destroy him before that fleet could do any damage to the rest of my base. If I can't deal with that, then that could be a crushing blow against myself. I'm going to send that fleet there as a flanking manoeuvre, so we're not grouping all our units together. I don't have much hope for that fleet assigned as Group 1. While it's sizable in force, the AI generally has a good amount of defences in the area, so they could quite quickly decimate them, especially that they won't be supported by any stronger units. I've got them popped down cutting beam, but that got wiped out pretty quickly as soon as it spawned, so that didn't do me any good. But now we're sending waves and waves of units to the AI, but they don't seem to be attacking. That seems to be a problem, that when they go there, not attacking as soon as they should be, I believe. Or maybe that their attack range is just that short. It'll require a bit further investigation as I play. I'll continue playing Ashes. As you can see, what I mentioned about Group 1 has been pretty much decimated, not many units lasting there. And the enemy still continues her advance. So a good idea would be to use an orbital ability to take care of that. Now I'm going to use the Plasma Storm, but I just have to wait for the Quanta to come in. Thankfully the wait isn't going to be that long at all, and we can actually plant this down on top of my own units. It'll totally decimate the enemy's units, and it won't even touch our own, so there's no friendly fire in these orbital abilities, which is quite cool. So as you can see there, the routes that I had selected were inside that storm and they weren't taking any damage whatsoever. So with the help of this storm, that should take care of that enemy strength. As you can see, we've got the Dreadnought launched. We're going to send it down. But the Dreadnought isn't going to see any action in this game at all. Pretty much almost finished. Last of the attacking force there. And it's all pretty quiet. And yeah, just getting the metal income back up just in case. Well, you can see force strength wise, Haley's had it. She's slowly been whittled to under 2k. There is no coming back from this unless I allowed her to. We're just going to get another orbital ability which will heal our units in the area. I don't think there's any more defences there which could cause much damage, so we're just whittling down Haley's base of operations. Actually, the game is mine. So I managed to achieve this in just about under 30 minutes. Once again, tactics are used in this one the same as the start of Deneb. Expand quickly. Made some schoolboy errors there, especially with the defences in the north. And I had to rush through there. A bit of a bug there with the audio for some reason. But quick overview of the economy of things. You can see that managed to outpace Haley in most areas. Once again guys, I hope you've enjoyed this video. Make sure to like and subscribe for more. Still enjoying playing this, and there's sure the best is yet to come. Well, until next time guys, Centaurian Mudpig saying bye for now.